Hi everyone, and welcome back to another masterclass. Today we are going to be talking about 3 hidden OP/conditional comps that you can play on 14.16. I've already talked about the Fake Gamer Fall Cup a couple times. I'll just quickly go over this again really briefly. Make sure you sign up, and it's an insane deal for only $20. You get 2 full bootcamp days and then an entry into the actual tournament where you could win big. So definitely check this out. Link in the description and also link in the pinned comment. Alright, 3 hidden OP comps on patch 14.16. Compared to last patch 14.15, there are a lot of comps that are very viable and quite diverse on the new patch 14.16. However, it's still good to know augmented compositions in the case where you're either contested or just to know very niche scenarios that will tailor your game into a specific composition. So the 3 we're going to be talking about today: Hwei Vanguards Reroll, the next one is going to be CVS Warwick Reroll, and then the very last one is going to be Ashe Jax Reroll. Might be asking what CVS is. It a convenience store? What is it? I guess we'll have to find out. At the very end, we'll do a recap and a Q&A for all of you who are watching this live. Alright, so let's start off with Hwei Reroll. So recently he has been buffed as of the last patch, so he is actually quite viable now. A couple of different ways you could play him, but the most optimized one is going to be Hwei Vanguards without Ezreal. So what is this? This is going to be a level 7 comp where you're going to be rerolling 3 costs. In this case, it's going to be mainly rerolling Hwei plus Mordekaiser. So Hwei in the backline and the Mordekaiser as your frontline magic tank / off carry. All this is going to be a magic damage composition, so make sure you have some sort of shred. And the very last one, conditions to play. So I will say that Mage and Ahri are a stronger AP version of the just AP reroll compositions. However, they are much more contested. So if you have an AP opener and someone is like hard forcing Mage or hard forcing Ahri and you had that spot, then you could definitely pivot into Hwei and play for your top 2, top 3, and top 4. The very next one is, since this is going to be a rather expensive composition, you're re-rolling 3 costs here, not even like 1 or 2 costs, having a reroll augment definitely helps, or at least some Econ Galaxy. The way Hwei works, so maximum mana pool of 40, not only will they paint a lightning bolt onto their target, but then also deals damage to adjacent enemies. On his 3rd cast, then there's going to be 2 extra bolts on the lowest % health enemies. So it's not exactly an execute, however, it does prioritize the low health enemies on that 3rd cast. And of course, he is a Frost plus Blaster. So this is what the level 7 board is going to look like. Quite simple. We have 4 Vanguards, so Rumble, Tahm Kench, Mordekaiser, Warwick. We're eventually going to play Tahm Kench over the Galio, but until you have Tahm Kench, then just feel free to play a Galio. In the backline, we have Hwei as our main carry, Zilean and Bard here for trades, and also just some form of utility. So since this is 3 costs, the way we're going to play it, we're going to level to 7 on either 3-5 or 4-1. 4-1 allows you to roll a lot more because you just have a lot more gold generated. However, if you don't have that great of a start, sometimes you have to level to 7 on 3-5 and roll a little bit to stabilize. Then after we've leveled to 7 and we've at least stabilized, you want to econ back up and then slow roll above 50 gold for Mordekaiser and Hwei 3. Zilean 3 is a little bit harder to hit because Zilean goes in a ton of boards. He goes into Kalista flex board, he goes into like actual vertical frost boards. So if he is very contested, then you don't have to reroll him. And also if you don't have extra items, then you don't have to reroll him as well. Extra items would just be like Shiv, Nashor, Shojin. So those are the main units that we are going to be rerolling for. For item priority, we want to make sure that we are prioritizing the Hwei first. So we need some sort of mana, either blue buff or Shojin. Of course, blue buff is a little bit better. However, sometimes you're dropped a sword and you have to make that Shojin for tempo. Next one is going to be Nashor's. Because Hwei has a mechanic on his 3rd cast, you definitely want to be casting as often as possible. So the Nashor's helps with that. Also gives you a little bit AP. And then the very last one is where damage is going to come in. So it's going to be mana, mana gen through attack speed, and then the last one is going to be damage. So Rabadon's is the best because we are not playing 4 Blaster in this version. The extra % bonus on the Rabadon's is very useful. If not, then you could build an Archangel's or Jewel Gauntlet as well, but definitely try to go for that Rabadon's. That's how the Hwei best in slot is going to go. For Mordekaiser, Mordekaiser is a magic tank, so this means that this is a unit that shield and damage scales off of AP. So you want to be building some sort of magic tank items as opposed to just original tank items. For example, like Spark, Helm, Adaptive Helm, or Crown Guard are going to be bis on Mordekaiser. Not only does he give him the tank, but also will give him more AP, which leads to more tank from his shield and also more damage. If you can't build these, If you can't build these, then Vow, Redemption, and Warmonks are okay as well. However, avoid building Bramble Vest, Sunfire Cape, and Declaw as of the new nerfs. So that is what the level 7 board is going to be like. Once you hit that Mordekaiser 3 and Hwei 3, then you can level up to 8 and eventually to level 9 and fit in a Xerath and then eventually an Ahri. We're going to cap around 3 Arcana for our main cap, and since we're going to be rolling so much on level 7, on like stage 4, stage 5, eventually we're going to pick up a lot of charms. So once we hit that Xerath, get the Arcana emblem, or not Arcana emblem, the Arcana mod onto Xerath, we're going to be doing a lot of true damage. That's how you cap out, and then eventually you can move some items over if you have the chance. In terms of best in slot augments, Shields Up is going to be the Vanguard's augment. Not only does it give them CC immunity, but also gives them larger shields. High Voltage, Spell Blades, Pandora's Bench, Immovable Object, and Support Golem are all going to be amazing augments that help out this composition a lot. And then some good ones are going to be Prismatic Ticket, Three's a Crowd Giant, and Mighty and Combat Caster. So definitely try out this composition. It's going to be, it already is very strong. However, unless you super high roll and are able to get that Xerath rather early, then you're most likely playing for a second or third. Okay, so that's going to be the first composition. Hwei Reroll, definitely give it a try. The next one is going to be Corrupt Vampiric, Scepter, Warwick. So a very fun composition. However, this is incredibly niche because you 100% need this artifact. So what is this comp? It's going to be a level 4 to 5 reroll composition because we are going to be rerolling 1 cost. This is going to be a physical damage scaling composition, and this is scaling because I'm not sure if you all know, but Warwick's ability is actually nothing. He only has a passive. However, the passive, he will gain attack speed and movement speed for each champion he has killed. So this means at the very start of the game, he won't have any stacks. Maybe he has snacks. He doesn't have any stacks. He will have low attack speed, low movement speed. However, throughout the game, he will start to gain more attack speed into his kit and also will move faster. And eventually you'll be playing as if you have Zoomify or Tiny But Deadly. So that's why it's a scaling composition. Condition to play, 100% you need this Corrupt Vampiric Scepter on 2-1 to commit to this composition. It doesn't even make sense to get this on 3-2 because by then you won't be level 4 and you want to do the brunt of your rolling on level 4. Very last one is you want to have either Rage Blade or Titan's components. If you have a bow start, even like a bow rod, or even like a bow chain, then you are definitely in a spot for this, especially if you have that CVS on 2-1. That's a quick intro into Warwick Reroll, getting more into the nitty gritty of the composition. The actual level 4 board doesn't matter that much. As long as you're playing 2 Vanguard and 3 Frost, that's all you need to really worry about. Because this is going to be a 1 cost composition, we don't want to put any of our gold into leveling or into rolling until 3-1. 3-1 is going to be right after Krugs, which is on 2-7. You're going to try to make as much gold as possible. And then on 3-1, you're still going to be level 4. This is the last level you will be level 4, or at least the last round that you'll be level 4. So then you can roll for those 1 costs and have the highest % chance of seeing 1 cost units per shop slot. Once you hit that Warwick 3, Twitch 3 is nice. It's not 100% necessary. We want to focus our items on Warwick anyway. So if you hit the Warwick very early, you got your items on him, then don't stick around for the Twitch. The Twitch happens if the Twitch happens. After you hit, then you can start adding vertical frost units as you level up, and eventually we want to be playing 7 frost. In the mid game, however, you can play 4 Vanguards for temporary stability, especially if you don't have those frost units and if you don't want to roll. Regarding Warwick items, of course, CVS Corrupt Vampiric Scepter is a must. Next, you will need a Rage Blade as your secondary, and your third items can either be a Titans or a Sterix. For Twitch items, any AD item works very well, or attack speed, so Red Buff, Death Blade, Infinity Edge, Runon's Giant Slayer. These are all great items. Essentially, he will get whatever leftover bow/sword items after you're done itemizing your Warwick. So, once we hit all of those, then we can start leveling up. This is how we eventually are going to cap out our board. After you hit the Warwick 3 and maybe the Twitch 3, you essentially don't need to be rolling anymore because this unit is so strong with this artifact. I've seen in Challenger games, this Warwick is just running around the board, stacking up, he is healing an insane amount, and you can't kill him until at least like stage 4 when you have a very good board. So with this being said, you are able to spend most of your money into leveling up and just in charms, and we want to cap around that Diana and also have 2 Arcana with this Tahm Kench and our Xerath. Best in slot augments, of course, you need an artifact, so either Portable Forge or Living Forge on 2-1 that will cater that will cater you, or I guess tailor you into playing this composition. Frost +1 is very useful. This way we can drop the Hwei, and then we can play a better unit like a Hecarim. And then Frosty Frontline, extremely good because we're playing Vertical Frost. Radiant Refractor. Radiant Refractor is a very good augment in compositions where you have a hyper carry. So this means most of the time, like if you have a 3-star carry that you're rerolling, right? So if we're rerolling Ari is our hyper carry, Radiant Refractor, boom, Radiant Adaptive Jaxo. So in this case, Warwick is our hyper carry, Radiant Refractor is very good, and in this case, we want to be Radiant Refractoring the Titans instead of the Rage Blade according to stats. Very last one that was very good, Support Golem. This can give us Banshees, this can give us Locket, it can give us Randuin's, Moonstone. These are all great, and Support Golem is just a great augment in general. So definitely try out this composition. As you level up, there are going to be a ton of new carries that you can itemize as well for items. So like Diana and Olaf, and then eventually your Xerath as well. And our very last one for today is going to be Ashe Jax Multi-Striker. So no more Kassadin reroll unless you have an insane setup. The new setup for multi-strikers is just going to be rerolling to try to get 3-star Ashe and 3-star Jax. So similar to Warwick, this is going to be a level 4 to 5 reroll because we're 1 cost, and this is going to be mainly a physical damage composition, even though Jax does a little bit of magic damage. As I mentioned, this is the new multi-striker version after the Kassadin nerfs, and conditions to play 2-1, either having category 5, so the Runon's augments, or press the attack, the multi-striker augments. Very last one to know is if you have early Jaxes or early Jaxes, early Ashes or early Jaxes with Rage Blade components, then this can be another sign for you to play this composition. So we'll show what the board looks like. Once again, similar to the Warwick board, the level 4 does not matter that much. It's more so the level 5, and in this case, the level 5 would just be playing another multi-striker, or 5 multi-strikers like a Hecarim. But this is, you're going to be rolling most of the time, or most of your gold on level 4, same thing as the Warwick board, because we want to be getting those 1 cost units. Once you hit your Jax and your Ashe, this will most likely be on stage 3 as your level 5, unless you're very lucky or you're super rich or a bit of both. You want to be starting to level up after both of them are 3-star and adding vertical multi-strikers plus a Shen. So on level 6, your board is just going to be like a Hecarim plus a Shen, and you'll get 5 multi-striker, Pyro, and Bastion. So we want to be prioritizing our Ashe items first. Rage Blade is a must. With her ability, it works extremely well, and also the multiple attacks stack from her like passive shots or from her ability shots. So just having a lot of attack speed on her is great. Runons as well, being able to hit multiple units. And then the very last one is going to be either a Death Blade, Giant Slayer, Red Buff, or Last Whisper. For Jax items, he will get the leftovers because we're going to be prioritizing that Ashe. So this can be either tank or bruiser items or a bit of both. So like Sterix, Redemption, Crown Guard, Bloodthirster, or Even Shroud are all great. In the stats, Even Shroud is better than Last Whisper. So in this case, we just want to be giving Ashe pure damage and then getting our Sunder from our front line holding an Even Shroud. As I mentioned, once we hit the Jax and the Ashe 3, we just want to level up and eventually play 7 multi-striker. In this case, we can put an Even Shroud on like our Shen, and then same side our main damage units with that Even Shroud, and then over here are just kind of our trait bots. Best-in-slot augments to go along with this comp. As I mentioned, category 5 and press the attack are 2 main indicators to play Ashe Jax Reroll. And then support golem as well is very good in compositions where you have melee carries. Giant and Mighty, Keepers 1 and 2, and also Featherweights are going to be great. So that is everything for today. I'll do a quick recap and then we're going to end it off and head into a Q&A. So today we talked about 3 hidden OP/conditional comps that you could play on the current patch. Hwei Vanguards Reroll is a very strong top 4 composition when your AP compositions are contested and you don't want to hold hand 7/8. Corrupt Vampiric Scepter Warwick Reroll is incredibly niche. If you are able to get this artifact on 2-1 and you have a good setup, then you could definitely commit to this and just see your Warwick take over the game. And the very last one is the new multi-striker versions of playing Ashe and Jax 3 instead of rerolling on 6 for that Kassadin 3. So that has been everything for today. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you check out the link in the description and the pinned comment for the Fit Gamer Fall Cup. I hope to see you there. It's a great deal, and I hope you enjoy it. So that's all. I'll see you all next time, and have a great day.